guys, welcome back. Yoga Challenge 30 days. We met Ella, my partner, and also teacher at Dreamsea Surf. She has no clue what's going to happen right now. We were talking about like FAQ and what we're gonna do in this video. And then I said, okay, let's just start and I'm gonna surprise you. So, what I thought, there's so many people out there and they think, okay, we would love to start doing yoga. But then there's kind of that boundary. How do we start? What's the first step that we have to take? What do you think? What would you advise? And
I think you just have to start, really. Like, there shouldn't be any limitations, and just start with something really small. And also, a great way to start is to get a friend. You know, have a yoga buddy. Say, hey, let's practice together.
Talk.
Exactly. Will you be my yoga buddy?
I want to be your yoga buddy.
Oh, great. Yeah, I think find a buddy, find a group of friends, join, connect, you know, find a group on Facebook in your area, go to local, you know, like community events, and just see who around you is in the yoga community, and then, yeah, build your network like that. Otherwise, there's so many different online forums like YouTube and I don't know what else.
Apps, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Find an app that shows you how to do it. Like if there's no studio in your town. Yeah, there's so many online communities that you can join to get motivation, to get inspiration, and yeah, just start.
And would you say home practice works better, or it works better going to a studio? I know there are like advantages, disadvantages of both, and what do you think are the benefits of?
Yeah, I mean, everyone is different. I have a friend and she says, I just have to go to the studio because I need someone to hold me accountable. So for her, going to the studio every day and having the teacher adjust her, tell her what to do, that works for her. For myself, I prefer to do my self-practice because I can do it when I want, I can do how I want. So for me, I like to do my self-practice.
I think that's also what we had a lot of conversations about, because I'm really more that studio girl. I really just love to go to classes, and I love to go just to the classes of my colleagues just because I get a bit more motivation, and it also puts me in the right vibration. It's more like the whole atmosphere around it. But I know like Ella, she's amazing in setting up her own little studio. I think anyways, that's an important tool. If you want to do home practice, it helps to set up the space. Like,
yeah, definitely.
Don't combine your office with your yoga studio, or don't start working behind your laptop thinking, okay, now I want to do some yoga poses. Yes, it can be something that you want to do in between if you're hanging behind your laptop and then just stretching out a bit, doing some seated cat-cow things. Yeah, but I wouldn't call that a proper yoga session home practice.
Yeah, create like a little sanctuary away from your busy life, away from your family. Maybe if you have children, create like a little room, get some incense, some candles, and just, yeah, make that space your yoga space. And it doesn't have to be big. It could be just somewhere on your floor, on your bedroom, but you roll out your mat, you create a little space, you take the time to make that for your practice. So.
And then a question that I get really often, continuing like how to start yoga, is people see that schedule, they see all those names, Hatha, Vinyasa, Ashtanga, they have no clue where to start. It's just overwhelming for them. What would you advise?
Yeah, it can be overwhelming. All these different names, all these yoga trends, goat yoga, beer yoga. Yeah. I think maybe like going to the studio and talking to the teacher and explaining, look, I'm new, what classes would you recommend? And they might have a beginner class, they might state if it's beginner, medium or advanced. But generally, I mean, my classes, I cater them to adapt to any level. So, you know, if there's an advanced yogi, they can do different modifications, but I always give modifications for the beginners so they don't feel overwhelmed and intimidated.
I think that's also a really good tool if there are any teachers out there. Give always enough options for all students. And as a teacher, what I feel it's one of the most important things to really feel the energy inside the room. How do really observe your students, even if you're not actively doing something, or if you're walking around adjusting, try to feel the space, try to see how are people reacting. Feel the energy. As a teacher, you're the space holder of the room, and
Definitely.
I think each class can be adapted. Even a full Vinyasa flow class, which is more powerful, more active, can be accessible for the beginners if you have a good teacher. That's
And also as a student, like checking in with yourself before the class, being like, okay, how am I feeling? What does my body need today? And then maybe telling the teacher, I've got really tight shoulders. I would love to do some work on the shoulders. And then the teacher should be able to adapt the class to those needs of the student.
And never hesitate to ask. I think that's one of the most beautiful things that I actually experienced in your class. Yeah. So Ella would always start her class with, "Hi, my name is Ella," just introducing herself and then telling the people that it's an interactive space.
Definitely. It's not like teacher student, be quiet, don't move, don't talk. It's like,
that's really something I stole from you. Like every time I start my class now, I'm like, guys, this is an interactive space. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask.
Totally.
But so
yoga
important.
should be fun. Yoga should be for everyone, all shapes, all sizes.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I think I was just talking with another friend about it, why there's so many women and no men in yoga classes. And I think it really comes through all the advertisement that is put out there. People think, yoga has to be like skinny girl, super flexible, cute little sport bra. And sometimes, I mean, we also love yoga stuff, yoga clothes, yoga shit. We can go crazy on it. But that's not what it is about. If you look back 1,000 years ago, it comes from Indian philosophy. It's really not about that. Yeah. So actually back then in the times it was more men practicing yoga.
I get so many guys, like I might meet them on the beach and be like, "Hey, you want to come to my yoga class?" They're like, "Oh, I'm not flexible." Then you should come to the yoga class.
Or then
it's like you don't have to be flexible, or you don't have to be anything to come to yoga. You just need to start.
That was such a good point. Like yoga is also for every body type. Like everyone. Yoga is for everyone. And I think that's really important. If you're in a class, it's not about a challenge. I see so many people looking around, especially if they are quite tight in their hips, and then they got frustrated, and that's so not what it is about.
It's comparison.
No, it's neither a challenge or competition with yourself nor with the people inside the space.
Yeah.
And again, I remember that you once said, I try to avoid that cue during my classes whenever you want to challenge yourself more.
Yeah, there's different personality types that are always going to want to challenge themselves, and then you can injure yourself. So
what do you say instead?
I generally say, like, if you feel okay in this version of the posture, you might like to try another version. And I don't necessarily say that it's more challenging or less challenging, but it's just a different modification of the posture. So
true. And sometimes I even think that if you are conscious enough and connected enough to actually choose for an easier variation, like overcome your ego, you're much more advanced.
Definitely. And I've learnt that after having an injury myself and having to pull back and be like, okay, but it really helped me work on my alignment, because instead of like speedily flowing from one pose to the next, I really had to sort of ground my feet, ground into the pose and do it correctly. So that was kind of a nice lesson.
Is there anything else that you would like to share with the audience? Anything that you think, okay, this might be your step to overcome your fear, to start your yoga practice? Maybe, I have one more question. How would you define yoga for yourself? Like, what's yoga for you? People think often just about the physical asana, and now we were also talking more about the physical practice, but what's your definition?
Definitely the Western world sees yoga as like this movement practice, which it definitely is a physical practice, but for me it goes so much deeper than beyond the physical, what they call asana practice. So yoga means union, which is connection to the mind, connection to the body, connection to the higher consciousness. So it's really about holding the space to connect to like all levels of your being, and through this movement practice, it's preparing the body stillness, for meditation, for this calmness. Yeah. So that's why I enjoy yoga, because it really calms me from the physical level to the mental, spiritual level as well.
I think that's such a beautiful way of saying it, and Ella is also going to guide you into more of a chakra balancing meditation, explaining a bit about that in one of our later episodes. So you're going to see her back, or more listen back again to her voice.
Yeah, it's all energetic, so when the body is in alignment, you flow more freely through your life.
So we are looking forward to see you again, listen to you again, and it was super nice having you here. Thank you. Bye guys. See you tomorrow.
Hey, hey, namaste, yoga girl.